Live from the USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. I see a black screen in the studio. I don't know why that's there. Hopefully you guys can see me in the chat. Can you see my screen right now? Not sure. It's like every time I try this, it messes up. It's so frustrating. Okay, now that's loaded up. I think you guys should be good. So let's just jump right into it. This is a video I'm doing on Cardano. I think this may be one of the best buys in the market right now. Currently sitting at 92 cents. Coming off multi-years lows versus Bitcoin. And when you look at this chart, you know, even if you go back to this first cycle, right, historically speaking, if you could have bought, say, under, let's just do something. Right. That's the levels for that one. Historically speaking, in this range, when you buy under that line, the chart is basically upside down, losing money faster than it's making it. When you buy over that line, it's growing at a much higher growth rate, making money faster than it's losing it. And the same thing holds over here. This thing has pretty clean levels running all the way through. And so when I look at this pattern, I'm basically looking at what is the opportunity to acquire this coin and have an expected profitability over time. That's the only thing that matters when you buy it. Is it going to go up? And in this scenario, I would say most certainly the odds are in your favor. Essentially, this line is kind of our catch basin. You can almost draw like a box down there and say at any given time, when the chart reaches that box, that's the time to buy. You know what I'm saying? It's got a 95% profitability rate, you know, that it's not going to go lower for any expected period of time. And even inside, let's just log that, right? Inside this little box right here, like that run in itself was 100% Bitcoin in a little less than 6 months. So you're talking about some real deal money in a short amount of time, right? And so that's what we're looking at now. This thing is trying to level out, trying to find its bottom. And once it does, you know, just like that spaceman suggests, this may very well be on to the moon, off to the moon. I think we can also do a Fibonacci from like that cycle to say the low of this cycle right here. And when you do that, we do have congruence within this chart. This basically confirms our capstone up here, which is always good to see. When the green lines up on a green area, that means you have what's called congruence, and the chart agrees with your proposed thesis of alignment. You know, and even here, you got like a little flux zone. I'll tell you the 2.2 to the 2.6 is kind of a place where things get wonky. And that's where you had the low to high. So the chart is kind of trying to balance itself out right there. And then right here, right where that green zone picks up at, you know, this is our newfound area of recovery, turnaround, and growth. So what does this tell me? That between here and here, we should see some sort of profitability taken. Now, one thing we will have to offset is this right here. That's a lower low on this sequence. But I don't think that's too hard to break through. You know, if you just kind of put a descending wedge, this is basically the line that the chart needs to break through before it's gonna have major gains on the table. And even then, right there, right? So this is basically kind of like the little suppression zone. But again, that runs out of real estate before that green line runs out. So if you just put, you know, a horizontal ray right where this bottom happened, right? This is basically what the chart, what pressure the chart is running into to keep going lower. Like that's the top down resistance at this point. And that's not very strong, right? Those two, you know, little wick candles don't really set much of a precedent to keep this chart suppressed over any foreseeable duration of time. That's just psychological price action, very easy to break through, you know. And my thesis has already been confirmed by a few sources. This is coming from dailycoin.com. Cardano holds firm with rising momentum. Cheap altcoin narrative, less than $1. Top 10 coins in the world. ADA is trading about 93 cents, while daily volume has ballooned by nearly 90% to over 4 billion. That means it's a lot of people trading Cardano. It is liquid. The ocean, the tide is moving inside that market, right? User accumulation has totaled over 200 million in recent days, placing it among the top altcoins to watch for a technical breakout. With $4 billion moving inside of any given economy, that can turn into 20 billion on the upside in just a few days. Don't believe me? Just watch. And that's when that happens, that's what those big run-ups look like. That goes from 1 billion to 2 billion to 3 billion to 5 billion. Next thing you know, you got 7 billion, you know, and you got more buyers than sellers, and then that price runs substantially, right? They said whales and retail engagement align ahead of speculation on ETF and scaling upgrades. Technical setup hints at a move beyond $1. That's essentially, I believe, a 12% rise to where we are currently, right? Go back down here. I think if we just wanted to do a quick extension of what would be considered normal, it's right up in there. And again, you don't have much top down. Like, I don't even want to do that. Basically, when this chart gets above this price, should be off to the races. Doesn't have much stopping it from doing that. I think that's where their 8 to 12% came in. I'm projecting 2 months to get through that. And that should happen before into October. And even if the market pulls back, like if Bitcoin goes down to say 110,000, 108, 105, these altcoins naturally will probably fall that amount, if not more. But again, it can't go down much lower. Like this is one of the best buys in the world right now. Like you got 30% to lose. You know what I'm saying? Before it gets down back in that box. And that's when you put down 2 to pick up 6 on a double down. That's when the dealer give you a 3 and a 7. You know what I'm saying? And he's showing a 4. Oh, we running with that. We go double down. Scared money don't make none. And that's what I see on these charts for Cardano right now. This is clearly one of the best buys in the market. You have macro support for Bitcoin, for crypto, for blockchain. This is unprecedented. They're talking about a U.S. Treasury even considering to establish Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. What does that mean? That means the government, in addition to the 200,000 Bitcoin they already own, they will begin buying more of it to basically back the faith and the credit of such said entity. I think when you, what does FDIC insured mean? When you actually look at the words that basically make up this financial system, the belief system. You know, just go on a credit card website. It says backed by the faith and the credit of the U.S. government. As we know, the credit of fiat currency ain't doing too good lately. Purchasing power going down, asset prices going up, savings rate going down, personal debt going up. You know, this is a very old narrative at this point. And so in order for the government to increase its capability and its faith, or the ability to be faithful in the currency, you know, I think it makes sense to integrate the best performing asset of all time into that conversation. And this is, I believe, what's already happening behind the scenes with the BRICS: Brazil, Russia, China, India, South America. That's already happening. That's already done. China has just about 80% of the blockchain. Russia has Ethereum. You know, and the U.S. got their stockpile of BTC and some of the top technological companies in the world. So you're starting to see an arms race for what's left. And the price is only $119,000. You might as well add a few zeros to that and get used to it, because that's what's going to be happening 10 years from now, right? So it's a very, very, very optimistic opportunity that you can buy into. And this is what I look at. This is just like a high growth savings rate. Like, even if you get it at $1 and it sits there for 2 or 3 years, you know what's coming. It's better than sitting up under your pillow where it's losing, you know, 10%, 12%. If you live in the state of California, they taking up to 18% a year. It's crazy. Crazy. Even the taxes, California taxes, 12%. In local inflation, 18%. You make $100,000 in California, you still broke. You know what I'm saying? This is America, right? And this is the future. ADA Cardano, one of the best buys in the market, bar none. It's hard to go wrong at 92 cents for a top 10 coin, and ADA most certainly will not disappoint in this next season, right? So shout out to everybody that's rocking with me on the live stream. Hopefully this made it all the way through. I gave my ISP some more money, you know what I'm saying, to get extorted for internet service. So hopefully, you know, the feed is still clear. You guys can see me, and you did get some value out of this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe if this is your first time tuning in. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? My mission is to change the world one trade at a time, and we go get it in and change our lives for the better along the way. Thank you for joining me. If you have a coin and you want to see it in the chat, let me know what that is. Again, if you want to learn how to trade Bitcoin, I do have a link in the description. It's for the #1 Bitcoin group in the world, #1. This is 20,000 people, 25,000 people. I put charts, trades, tips, and tricks. You know, anything I could do to help give back to the community, I most certainly will do it in this group. We got people that's been rocking out with me for the better part of 10 years in there. Shout out to everybody in the crypto community. And, you know, again, shout out to you. And if you want to see a chart, just throw it in the comments. I will get to it on the next video. But in the mean and between time, pick you up some ADA. You know what I'm saying? Cardano is notable for making leaps and bounds in just a few months. And I think this is a great opportunity to, you know, get your money in before the whales start swimming. So, can you please do a chart on SHX? Absolutely, Mr. Everton. SHX. Let's see here. SHX. You know what? I'm gonna run through my normal process of evaluating, because I gotta learn this stuff. I don't even know what SHX is. So let's see. SHX. Stronghold. First thing I like about Stronghold is top 500. You know, I think it's a lot easier to make some big money in the top 100, but these are where some of the buys come in at. Right, top 300 it's not too bad. Not too bad. Tell me it's got about $1 billion liquidity. You know, that's kind of what you want to see moving behind this thing. Let me see. Yeah, $3 billion liquidity. So it's not a sham, right? You got some real money behind it. And what markets is it in? That also tells you, does it have It's not on Coinbase, so it doesn't have the floodgates accessible to it yet. That could be either good or bad, but usually it's good. It doesn't look like it's on Binance either. So this is still kind of a unknown entity, so to speak. It's not on KuCoin. It's not on Crypto.com. But it's still top 200. So there you go. It has some potential, right? So now we take a look over here, and it looks like a utility coin. I mean, it's pennies, right? 3 cents. So it's definitely not a currency, more of a utility. SHX. One thing I try to do, and that's the problem with this pair, I'll just tell you right off the top. Problem with this is you can't chart it to Bitcoin. And this will be the only chart I do in this video because it's taking a little bit longer. So what I try to do then is get these guys to tell me, because see, when I go to Tradingview and I type in SHX, BTC, you want to trade for Bitcoin when Bitcoin is making you more dollars. Because if this chart starts going up and to the right, that's when you know you're getting dollars and you're getting Bitcoin. You're basically making free money, right? But right now we don't have that capability to see it easy. So one of the things you can do, which is cool now on Tradingview, they didn't always have this feature, but they do now, is you can have Tradingview show you the data against Bitcoin, and that'll kind of get the same information conveyed. So what does it say? This says right now, inside the past month, SHX has been running. Goodness gracious. Wow. 130% Bitcoin. Huh. And it's still 3 cents on the dollar. Crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. What's happening here? So maybe it just got some of that VC money I was just talking about. Maybe it will be going on Coinbase or KuCoin or one of these big exchanges pretty soon, because that's what they do. When the venture capitalists know that they are bringing a business to the market, oh, they get their money in before anybody else. And that could be what we're seeing behind the scenes. That'll be interesting to see if maybe later in the year, SHX is sitting at 15 cents and it goes on Coinbase and then it sells back off to 5 cents, right? Something like that. It always happens. But 600% in a year, incredible. 100% in a month, also incredible. Again, when it happens all at once like that and it just jumps, it lets you know it's some real money coming in behind the scene. This is probably like $1 billion inside the past month. If you go look at his market cap right here in July and the market cap today, guarantee you that's $1 billion plus. Anyways, let's jump back over to this chart since we don't see it. Actually, 1, 2, 5. It's hard to chart it, but we'll see. I would almost buy it just on the speculation, but you still need an entry point. Because that's what I'm saying. This is like a buyer season at this point for a lot of these altcoins. This is like alt season is literally right around the corner. I don't know why it doesn't like that. Stronghold SHX, please. Do I have to say please to it? Will that work?